Michigan plus 10 against North Texas. I don't think that was a Kenny White play, was it? It might have been. Kenny, yep, also on Western Michigan. Sorry, there's two common plays there. Western Michigan plus 10, SMU minus 2.5, the common plays for Kenny and Alex. Her best bet, Boston College plus 4. She's also on West Virginia minus 3.5 at Ohio. Iowa State laying 3.5 against Iowa. Mike Palm in studio tonight. Iowa native said he loves the Cyclones in that game. Iowa State laying a field goal and a hook. Duke plus 2.5 against Illinois. And Michigan, Oklahoma under the total of 44.5. So there's the 7 for Alex White this week. Let's get to Big Randy McKay out of North Dakota. Just packed up his station wagon and drove across the country, moved into his new home in Bullhead City, Arizona, across the Colorado River from Laughlin. Big Randy's hanging out at the Circus Sportsbook last night, and he hit a $20,000 hand pay on a video poker machine. The guy's incredible. Follow him at RR39, professional gambler. Randy McKay, a 3-time major contest winner, back in the Friday Football Invitational, and his best bet in Week 1, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, under 47.5. Also on the college side for Randy McKay, Iowa plus 3.5 against Iowa State. He's going opposite Mike Palm in that one. Ball State, Auburn, over 51.5. Tulane, minus 11 at South Alabama. BYU, a 20-point favorite against Stanford. And the NFL plays for Randy McKay at halftime in Brazil is 13-6. Chargers lead the Chiefs. Big Randy's on the under 47.5 there. Talk about lucky. Big Randy and Chuck Edel both had the under last night in that Cowboys-Eagles game. And without that weather delay, it probably does not stay under. 41 points in the first half, 3 points in the second half. Eagles win 24-20. Big Randy and Chuck were winners under the total last night. A bit of a lucky break there, but you'll take any luck you can get to win these contests or win any bets. Chiefs Chargers under 47.5 and Falcons plus 2 against the Buccaneers are Randy's only NFL plays this week. All right, let's get to Matt St. Marie. Last but not least, saved him for last because he's the 2023 Circa Million champ from Minneapolis. On Twitter, at Matty Saint. Back for the second straight year in the contest, and his best bet, Texans, Rams under 43.5. Matthew Stafford with the back issue. We'll see how much of a problem that is for Stafford on Sunday. Matty Saint also on the Friday night game here. He's laying 3 with the Chiefs against the Chargers. That's not looking good at the half, but we do have Friday night plays in this contest for the first time, and we'll try to announce those in the opening segment in future weeks here. But Chiefs-Chargers, big game tonight, and Matt St. Marie on the Chiefs side needs another big comeback for Patrick Mahomes here in the second half. It's going to be 7 NFL plays this week for Matty Saint. He's also on Titans, Broncos under 43. Raiders plus 2.5 at the Patriots. Packers laying 2 against the Lions. Dolphins, Colts over 46. And Panthers, Jaguars over 47. There you go. That's a 7 for Matt St. Marie. Let's take a look at the high stakes version of the show tonight, presented by Omaha Steaks. The best bets for all 25 contestants here in the contest to wrap up the show. And we're going to put this graphic up in alphabetical order, starting at the top with Frank Betty and Anthony Curtis. Arkansas State, Arkansas over 62.5. Paul Bovey, Ravens minus 1. Drew Bridges, Lions, Packers under 47.5. Pimlico, Frank Carulli, Cincinnati minus 23 against Bowling Green. Chuck Edel, the Iceman, the defending champ, Stanford, BYU under 45. The Bear Felica, Duke plus 2.5 against Illinois. Jim Feist, 49ers Seahawks under 43.5. Steve Fezzik, Falcons plus 2. Tony Gordon, Chiefs Chargers under 47.5 in progress. Jason Jarvis, Falcons plus 2. He lines up with Steve Fezzik there as a best bet. Doug Kazarian, Hawaii minus 6.5 against Sam Houston on Saturday night in Honolulu. Chris Massero, Dolphins pick'em against the Colts. Randy McKay, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, under 47.5. We continue with the high stakes here. The best bets in the Friday Invitational, all 25 handicappers. We just hit Randy McKay, and we go to next, Brett McMurphy. Duke, plus 2.5 against Illinois. Edwin Meyer, Carl Sack, that team is on the Giants, plus 6 at Washington. Mike North, Panthers plus 3.5 at the Jaguars. Jeff Petch, Giants plus 6 at the Commanders. He lines up with Ed Meyer and Carl Sack on that play. Chris Piper, Broncos laying the 8.5 against the Titans. Broncos probably going to be the top consensus play in Circa Survivor. Scott Pritchard, Ball State Auburn over 51.5. Matt St. Marie, Texas Rams under 43.5. Weston Stratman, Vandy, Virginia Tech under 47.5. Alex White, Boston College plus 4. Kenny White, Illinois Duke under 49. Jeff Whitelaw, Seahawks plus 2. And Chris Sanook, Seahawks plus 2. All right, that wraps it up for tonight. Thanks to Chuck Edel, Mike Palm, Drew Bridges, Weston Stratman, Scott Pritchard, Derek Stevens, and Tony Gordon, all on tonight's show. Week 1 of the Circa Friday Football Invitational. If you're a VSiN Pro subscriber, you get all the plays in your email inbox right now. Go to vsin.com and stay tuned to Sean Green and Ryan Kramer next on the Sports Gambling Podcast on the Sports Betting Network.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the ad.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education...
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia1 Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast.
On a Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
It's time to kick back and listen to the Sports Page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202 is the number to get in and talk sports. The show is the Saturday Morning Sports Page, and the station you're listening to is Western Reserve Radio, home of Poland football. Big win last night for the Bulldogs, 50-6. A lot going on in the wonderful world of sports, no doubt about it. We'll look at some of the other high school games that happened last night. Some really good games happened, for competitive games, I should say. It was a Canfield Cardinals 27 and Cardinal Mooney 17. That was a very competitive game. There were some other games in the region, and like I said, we'll get to those. Some not really competitive. That was probably the Mooney Canfield game was probably the highlight game maybe in the area. Two schools with history and both undefeated going into that game, both 2-0. And Canfield Cardinals came up ahead 27-17. That going on. Then obviously you have college football, pro football, big game last night. The LA, but we still call them the San Diego Chargers, Dave Clark.
Yeah, always will be.
27 beat the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. And therefore finally kind of almost got that off their back, sort of to speak, getting that albatross off their back. The Kansas City Chiefs just kind of found ways to always beat the Chargers. And now last night, Justin Herbert made the big run at the end of the game, basically to seal the game for the Chargers, making it a 27-21 victory. So we have that to talk about. And then the night before, we had Philadelphia Eagles beating the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys look good. I got both these games wrong, by the way. Yeah. You were 1-1. I was 0-2. Cowboys losing to the Philadelphia Eagles 24-20. But Dallas looked very good. CeeDee Lamb makes a couple catches. They probably win the game at least makes the one catch dead in his hands, I think that Dallas would have won. Should have beat the Eagles. And then the whole spit thing with I've seen stupid things before. I mean, a lot of stupid things.
You got to control yourself because I don't care what Dak might have said. Something that was
Dak said he spit supposedly or whatever.
Well, he did.
Yeah,
Dak said something to him. No, he said something to him.
They said they were talking.
And then Dak said something to him. He looked at him and he spit. You just can't do it. You got to control your emotions. I don't care what he said.
Yeah.
He could have called him whatever. We might can't stay on the air here.
Right.
But whatever he said to him, you just, But that sometimes that's a veteran move too. That's a move that a guy will provoke you to do something. And if they see your emotions as high, that's how you get them. He probably didn't think he was going to get that, get him where he's kicked out, but he could get a nice penalty.
He got the 15 yards to get started.
You got the penalty and him out the game. So he was a non-factor. He didn't play a down. And that changes everything for Philly on there. Even though they rotate them, that still changes everything because he's a guy that you have to account for him. And if you ain't got to go up against him, that almost like even it out. Micah gone, him gone.
Yeah.
So it evens up. I never was worried about, we talked about Dallas offense. Like I said before, a lot of people say, Dak, he's not good, he's not a top, whatever. I don't really totally agree with that because I think it's your pieces around you. But when it comes to actually, get the protection, well, all quarterbacks, but mainly your top ones, you give them enough time to do what they need to do, they can make big plays. And he was putting that ball on the money.
He did.
Guys were dropping it. Besides CeeDee Lamb, we had a couple others. I mean, just right there on target. So, and he looks fully healthy. So the offense looks decent enough. But the defense, there's still some, because at first there was no pressure on Jalen Hurts. They wasn't even getting close to him. Then Dickerson goes down on the offensive line. They get banged up a little bit on the offensive line. They start to get a little bit of pressure later in the second half. But I contribute that to both teams where you go and play. It's hard, man. It's hard to have halftime and then I have a delay.
Yeah, that really
throws off everything.
That lightning delay.
Oh yeah,
which is about 45 minutes.
Yeah, that it's hard to get.
You were into the third quarter.
Yeah, it's hard to warm up again. It's hard after halftime. Then you're gonna start playing. Then you stop 45 minutes. And you got to warm up again. That's tough. Got to do it, but that is tough. Yes, sir.
Good game. I think Dallas could be a playoff team. I think Philadelphia is going to be pretty good, but I think they're going to get a lot of competition from Washington and Dallas. We'll get to the picks. We have the Giants some people believe that the Giants are going to make some noise in that division. It'll be interesting. I think this is going to be a great year for the NFL. We saw two great games, to be honest with you. They were really good games. Mm-hmm. Dallas and Philly, and then last night, the Chargers. But Kansas City just kind of looked like they had the bad Super Bowl hangover, and Herbert kind of had his way with that Kansas City defense. Now, I'm sure they'll make some adjustments, and they'll make maybe some changes if they need to, and they probably will to work on that defense. But, the best part, obviously, we love about football is Kansas City has Philadelphia next week at 4:25. So Philly's at Kansas City next week.
Yep.
So you're going to have a lot of eyeballs to the set watching that game.
Yeah.
Because now, obviously, Kansas City could potentially come out of the gate 0-2.
Yeah, they could. They could.
I mean, that's a tough loss last night to the Chargers. But now you have to almost look at the Chargers, Harbaugh's second year. They played very good, especially Herbert just played like lights out. I mean, he made all the passes, and then the big run at the end of the game to seal it for the Chargers. Yeah. And now you're looking at the Chargers in that division, and you have Denver. You break that division down,
Yeah, it's going to be a tough division all the way through.
That's going to be a dogfight.
We got to see how Bo Nix plays his second year. I don't worry a lot about Denver's defense. The defense usually comes together faster anyway than the offense.
Right.
But that defense has been stout for a few years, and they just keep adding more pieces to it. So I look for them to be good on defense. If that offense can keep them, I don't know what and Kansas City is always going to have that championship heart. So it's going to be tough to find out what's what. But I love Herbert. A lot of people don't give him, but I always say he's a good quarterback. And Harbaugh, he opened it up. He didn't just pound it. He still ran the football, but he let Herbert throw the ball. And I think that mixture like that, they're gonna be hard to beat. They'll be a tough team to deal with all season long if it's like that. Let him go ahead and throw the ball because them things is right on target. Great pickup, bringing Keenan Allen back.
Yeah, Keenan Allen looked really good.
Yeah, I mean, he just, pro as they say, and then seeing Quentin Johnson, who they thought is a bust. People were saying he was a first-round bust. Sometimes it takes a little bit. I think this is his third season. He showed up.
Yeah, he looked good. That's the great part, is I love how, we talk about it a lot, but how players get written off after 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, as a rookie, can't do it.
That guy's a bust. Not any good.
You can't do that quick.
And so people just dismiss, critics will dismiss, analysts will dismiss these guys. And I just think, knowing what I see, what makes Harbaugh one of the best coaches, he gets the best out of his players.
Yeah.
And he gets these guys you think are busts, like even Trey Lance, who everybody wrote him off, even in the exhibition. Trey Lance looked pretty good.
Yeah. And that's their backup.
And that's a backup. But
he looked good.
He looked good. And Harbaugh just knows how, we talked about it, how he did that with 1 year in San Francisco. He just took the same team that I believe was 6-10 and got them to the conference finals, and one bad call from the Super Bowl versus the Giants that year.
Yeah.
But he just took that same team and did, so much more with it than the previous coach was Singletary. But the point is, see it with the Chargers, though. Mm-hmm. Look what he's done with the Chargers. Got into the playoffs last year. Granted, they played a bad playoff game against, I believe it was Houston. And all right, it was a bad game. Herbert had a bad game. People get real critical of him. Then all of a sudden, everybody, he's not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know they just jump on he's not that good. Blah blah. And I'm like, you guy has one bad game,
and he's just done.
And everybody's basically throwing him to the basic wolves and said he's done. Get rid of him. And it's like, no, he's.
That's why you hold on. That's smart organizations that hold on to guys. They'll say, okay, well, we'll take them to 3 to 4 years and see what's going on. We ain't gonna just say he's done, because a lot of people are saying cut Quentin Johnson. I know that I heard that all last season. Just get rid of him. He's a bust. Well, when he played for TCU, he ran different routes, but he mainly ran the as they say, the 9 route, which is a deep ball, deep crossers, and he would get open and catch the football, and he made big plays. So when you come to the NFL, you can't just run them. You got to be able to know the whole route tree and get that down. Well, sometimes that takes time to get that, and then get timing with your quarterback. And then people get down on you. Sometimes you can lose confidence. But they said his confidence stayed high, and he worked hard all off season, and you can see it. Confident coming across the middle, catching the ball with his hand. It's completely different.
Do you think the fact that he's playing for Harbaugh, seems to?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's just that thing.
Or is it maybe it's the system? Maybe they put a better system in to have him flourish.
It's the same. The same system.
But
as far as him,
you're right.
I'm just thinking that when you get in the pros, it's just in any position, the things you got to learn and know is kind of overwhelming. I mean, I thought certain things in college was like, oh, that stuff they want you to know. They quiz you on it right away, and you don't know it, or you're kind of mixed up. You will not see the field. I don't care if it's special teams. So, I mean, all those things going on in your mind, those things, that has something to do with it. I'm going to contribute to him to stick with it because some guys just fall apart, and he didn't.
Yeah, I think some of it could be that, and I think part of it is Harbaugh, basically gave him the confidence or just stayed with him and, coached him up, maybe gave him reinforcement and said, no, we could do this. There had to be some interaction there just because.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been him, but it might be before Harbaugh even came. I'm thinking, I'm giving it to the GM and the guys up front because before they hired Harbaugh, they were already talking about getting rid of him, and it was a lot of stuff on them about get rid of him, and they wouldn't.
And that's only 1 year.
Yeah, and they would say that's his first year. That's a bust.
He was
and they were
on 1 year.
They was on the Chargers front office about it, and they would not.
And they wouldn't do it.
No, they wouldn't do it. They said they believed in him. They thought they there with him every day so they could see if this guy shows some kind of potential. So once the new coaching staff come in with Harbaugh and he see that he's going to be behind him, he's already got the front office behind him. So it's on him. It's on him. They trusting you, and this is what they get now. And that's what I mean. I don't know. They were saying that they also said it about I forgot the defensive back on their team too. That they was calling a bust too. I forgot who it is. No, not a defensive back. The linebacker, 45, came from USC. Oh, he can't put pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, well, he's putting pressure last night. in the end of last year, he was too. I forgot his name, but he came out of USC as a decent pass rusher. But they was calling him that one-trick pony type guy. That there's nothing else he could do. But they bring in and out defensive linemen, and that has helped him progress. Stick with him. But that's the thing too. They got the right coach because Harbaugh was known when he came to San Fran. He didn't make wholesale changes.
No.
When he came, he kept the same guys.
He kept the same team.
Except guys might have been out of contract and had to leave or something. But other than that, he kept the same core of guys and just work with them to see how it goes. So, when you got the front office to stick with you, and then the new incoming, because sometimes when the new incoming guy comes, he start getting rid of all kind of people if they're not performing. He said, "I bring my own guys in," but that's not a trait of Harbaugh's. That's what I like about Pete Carroll too, because he comes in, he brings guys he know to fit,
right,
and then he keeps guys. He don't like, he's a bust, get him out of here. He just keeps them. This works with them. They see something. So,
well, that's it. You see, first of all, I think it's a lot easier to keep the guys you have under contract and then try to work with them and then try to instill a system to tailor to their strengths, understand their weaknesses, and then work to their strengths.
Yeah.
It's kind of away from their weakness. But the point you have is Harbaugh just seems to be a master of that, where he comes in, and this is really the same roster. I mean, he's made some changes, but you take the core guys, and he's been able to win. And like they said, they got into the playoffs last year. Big difference. And then this year, they start off quick in the gate. And if you're a Charger fan, you're looking at it and going, man, we finally got the albatross off our back, the Kansas City Chiefs, who seem to own us. And just like last year, they beat the Chargers on games that the Chargers outplayed them, but Kansas City found the way to win. Well, starting off the season, it looks like, Kansas City kind of looked like they were a little hungover from the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes is running for his life a lot of times. That's it. That Charger defense, is going to be a a factor coming into this year, and it's
it was
going to
top
be
scoring defense last year. So, stopping people and things of that nature, that bend and don't break type defense, they've been that. So now they're getting a little even better. So that's what I'm saying. Is just I like their approach. When I seen that interview with Derwin James and Keenan Allen after the game, they're not, even not even looking at it like they kept asking about that. Well, you finally got that game. They don't even worry about that. They won that game. That's just one. They got to play them again. And if they all in the playoffs, they might have to play them again.
Yeah.
So, you just keep it on a even keel.
You were talking
finally won it.
About the linebacker.
Yeah, Latu or something. I forgot, from USC.
I have to look him up. Now it's on I've got to figure it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Tuli Tupulopa.
Yep. That dude could run.
Yeah, 6'3". 6'3", 266. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
Third year out of USC.
Yeah.
And you're right.
And they said that Khalil Mack, who didn't even have a contract yet, was going in when they was trying to say get rid of him. Yeah. He was saying no. He said that guy works too hard. He's going to be good. Well, you could see that he learned from them guys, learned some more stuff, even from last year with Boza. He gets some stuff from him, some things from Mack. He was effective. Not that he got sacks. I'm talking about pressure.
Right.
There was a bunch of pressure. Right. He's making them run all around the place.
And the thing with a player like Khalil Mack, he's the kind of player that makes he takes the offense. They have to scheme for him, and he can make the other players look good because they've got to focus on Khalil Mack. So he might not be getting sacks, and you're thinking, oh, this guy. No, he's creating opportunities for the other defensive players.
Right.
The guy that amazed me last night was Tart.
Tart slapped the mess out of Kelsey.
Oh my gosh!
But Kelsey didn't care. That guy don't care about nothing anyway. But
they didn't throw him out because it was an open-handed, so he's all right.
But he was smacking that ball. I mean,
but he
played
pressure. Good pressure.
Yeah, big guy too.
Oh, he's six. He's listed at 6'2", 315. He played for Florida International in his 6th year.
You make me think he's bigger than that. That guy was.
Yeah, he did look bigger.
He looked bigger than that, but kind of quick, and he get in there. He just pushed the guard straight back to
Mahomes.
Right back to him. He just pushed him right straight back. Doesn't matter.
That's power.
Yep. Hey, I'm telling you, stay healthy. They stay healthy.
Tierre Tart.
Yep.
6'2", 215, 315.
Yep.
Played for Florida Internationals at 6th year. This is what I always love about NFL is I never even heard of this guy till last night. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, he played for somebody else in the NFL.
Yeah.
I forgot who. Somebody, I don't know what I want to say, the Saints. Somebody, I forgot, but I remember him playing somebody else in a little bit of their rotation. He just kept getting better and better. And then he was a free agent, and they got him. I don't know if they got him last year or this year, the Chargers, but they picked him up. I don't think he was always at the Chargers. I remember him. But
yeah, he was undrafted. He went to Florida International. Before that, he went to Ellsworth Community College. And then I guess
powerhouse in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he started out with ASA College, which is a private for-profit college in New York City and in Florida. So he started a year there, then he went to Ellsworth Community College, then FIU.
Mm-hmm.
He was undrafted, coming out of FIU, Florida International, undrafted, Tennessee Titans.
That's it. Yep. There it is, Tennessee. Yep.
This is the part that I always marvel at this because he's Tennessee Titans, 4 years, 2020 to 2023. Then he went over to the Houston Texans in 2023. So Tennessee probably traded him over to Houston. No, they released him.
Yeah, probably was a free agent.
Yeah, this is how I always love these kind of stories because here's a guy played for the Tennessee Titans. He was released December 16th of 2023 by Tennessee. Houston picked him up He was claimed on waivers, but he never played for Houston in December 2023. He signed with the Dolphins, but then was released. It was 2024. He was released by the Dolphins August, so he never even really played. He signed with the Dolphins in April, released August. Mm-hmm. Then the Chargers picked him up as a free agent.
Yeah, that's
August 15th of last year, 2024, he signed with the Chargers. Mm-hmm. He's been with the Chargers now. This is his second year with the Chargers. But he was like all over. He seemed to be everywhere last night. Every time I looked up, he was either, in somebody's face, knocking the ball down. He was everywhere on defense.
It makes me think that he was, him being released by Tennessee, maybe his contract was certain, but other teams released make me wonder, did he have an injury? Because that's who it was at Tennessee. I couldn't remember where he played. I know I've seen him, but I know he played. He wasn't on a bench. This is a guy that was in a rotation, and that's why I probably remember him from with Jeffrey Simmons down there at Tennessee. I don't understand how the guy has been moving around, but they'll hold on to him for sure because he's a factor. And if you can get inside pressure with the good outside pressure that you got from Mack and
then you have Mack and Tart on the line, and they're both big guys. I mean, and Tart is 6'2", 315, but like you said, he always looks bigger.
Yeah, he looks bigger than that.
But it seemed like he was everywhere.
Yeah.
And Khalil Mack, they were putting so much pressure on Mahomes last night. Mahomes made some great plays, but I always thought it looked like Mahomes wasn't in sync. He seemed like he was like being pressured so much that he couldn't get in rhythm. And they kind of kept Kansas City out of rhythm pretty much the night. Now, Kansas City made a run at them when you know they would.
Yeah.
And
that's just what champions do. They don't make a run.
You know that.
Yep.
And you expect that from Kansas City. Even when they're not at their best, they're still dangerous. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, the game came down to Herbert making the play at the end of the game, that he made that run for the first down, and that sealed the game for them. That Herbert was making all the plays last night for them.
Well, the big mistake was Chris Jones, and
Tranquil
went nuts. He was going. They were arguing and everything, but I know Chris Jones. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have pride. He's gonna argue back, but Tranquil was right. You can't take an inside rush and leave contained wide open. If he stays on the outside,
no, that doesn't happen.
Never happens.
Nope,
it never happens because he has nowhere to go but inside, and now you force him back to Tranquil and everybody else,
and then he's done.
Yeah, so he probably would have threw the ball out of bounds somewhere.
Yeah, he would have had to.
Or something. He would, or just take the sack,
or take the sack, or run and go down.
Yeah,
and then let the clock run down. Then they would have had a punt. And then Kansas City would have had the ball with about 2 minutes left.
Yep, because after that big sack, Tranquil just made a big sack.
Right.
Remember he
made the sack before.
Right before that. And then you get that, the next play. You can't let that happen. What it is, I know Chris Jones may not be thinking this, but we as people that sit and watch the game, you'll holler and say, quit trying to play hero ball. Okay, but it's not that. It's just that you see something and you think you can make a play. But a lot of times it's best just to read your keys and just play fundamental. That's why I used to like about basketball with Tim Duncan. They used to say he'd do stuff so great. That's why he had the nickname the Big Fundamental.
Right.
That's what Shaq said. Everything is just fundamental. You do the same things all the time.
And he does it great. And he knows exactly.
And that's why, it'll work out. Sometimes it might look like, oh, that's boring. Well, when you look at the stat sheet, it don't look like that at the end of the game. So that's what Chris Jones. Stay on the outside.
Stay outside.
And we don't know what happened.
And that's what happened. He went inside. And Herbert read it.
And he a good athlete. He was gone.
And he was gone. I mean, he could have run it. He could have run it in for a touchdown. It looked like he was headed that way. He went down. That was it.
Yeah.
First quarter's already in the book. We got to let a lot to get to here on the Saturday Morning Sports page. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers chat with that situation. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
To get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
For more than 70 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get all the benefits they've earned.
Al Kovac Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We provide one-on-one support tailored to your individual needs, including healthcare advocacy, benefits support, and career assistance.
For more information, call 1-800-424-8200 or visit pva.org. A public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Saturday morning sports page back at you. 330-707-4202. Got a lot of football to get to. I don't know how much time and effort I want to spend on this story. We'll get it's basketball, so obviously it's coming right in the middle of football, but we'll throw it out, and it's going to be up to the NBA. We'll investigate this. There was a story out this past week that the LA Clippers were circumventing the salary cap by basically giving Kawhi Leonard $28 million through this company. It was a no-show deal, and Ballmer has denied this. Basically, Pablo Torre, who's an excellent reporter for ESPN, reported that the Clippers facilitated a no-show endorsement deal for the two-time NBA final champion Kawhi Leonard with Aspiration Partners, carried an estimated value of $28 million. Aspiration is a green financial services company, has since filed bankruptcy. The company's logo was actually featured on the Clipper jersey after it reached a $300 million sponsorship deal in 2021. The LA Business Journal reported at the time Ballmer was also one of the company's investors. Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, has acknowledged that Aspiration asked to be introduced to Leonard, but denied he was aware of the endorsement agreement the sides ultimately signed. Ballmer also made it clear that the company was operating under his direction. Goes on basically, despite the multi-million-dollar deal, Leonard effectively was never required to perform any services for the company. Leonard and the Clippers reached, this is back, for a 4-year contract extension back in August of 2021 for a 4-year deal worth $173 million. Ballmer noted Leonard was not introduced to Aspiration until November of the same year. It says, according to Ballmer, we were done. We were done with Kawhi. We were done with aspiration. The deals were all locked and loaded, Bomber said. Then they did request to be introduced to Kawhi. Under the rules, we can introduce our sponsors to our athletes. We just can't get involved. And then Bomber goes on to say, we made that introduction in early November. Steve Ballmer has been in cooperation with the Department of Adjustment into a probe with aspiration. Reviews of the interaction with the company are ongoing. Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud. So it goes on to basically say that these were the guys who committed fraud. Look, they conned me. They conned me. I made an investment in these guys thinking it was the up and up, and they conned me at this stage. I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything that they did, let alone any contract with Kawhi Leonard. So that's Ballmer's side to this. So the only thing you could probably sit back and wait on this.
Yeah.
A lot of people are all jumping that, the Clippers circumvented the cap. We really don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I forgot what they said that job was, cutting trees or something.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, like really he's going to be cutting trees. I don't know. It'll come out in the wash.
That's how I look at this. I don't know. I know what they were saying, that Torre reported this, but he never went to Ballmer to confirm it.
Right.
He never went to the owner, Ballmer, of the Clippers and said, hey, this is what I've got. Do you have a response to this?
Mm-hmm.
He reported it as potentially have circumvented the salary cap. So we really don't know with this. I brought it up. Just say it's obviously a big story out there. It's getting a lot of press. And people are already jumping on the proverbial bandwagon. They're going to punish the Clippers. They should punish the Clippers to no end. And the reality is, Ballmer's got his side of it. The NBA's got to do an investigation. It sounds like to me, if you take the owner's side version is true, is he got, evidently invested in a company, put a lot of money into a company, then went belly up.
Yeah.
And he's saying he had nothing to do with the contract between Kawhi and the company. So I guess because Kawhi could do his own deal with a company.
Yeah.
Ballmer didn't know anything about it.
Doesn't have anything to do with his playing contract.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. It'll come out. Like I say.
It'll come out.
Little bits and pieces.
They're going to do a big investigation on it.
And then it might just be like some of the other investigations.
Right.
A lot of hoopla for nothing.
Right.
So we'll see.
So we have the NFL. We have college to get to. Obviously, the Buckeyes last week had the big win, 14-7. Arch Manning didn't play very well. A lot of I think, had to do with Matt Patricia's defense. Playing at Ohio State opening day with a new team, and everybody's already got Arch Manning as a bust.
Right. Well, he's a bust.
One game.
Yeah, but that's the way it was. It was no games, and he was the first pick in the draft.
He was going to save the Dallas Cowboys because all the buzz was what was going to happen was after Jerry traded Micah Parsons, that he had the 2 picks, that Arch Manning was going to win the Heisman hands down, be the greatest quarterback since who knows, and that he was going to come out and Dallas was going to take him number 1 overall, with the idea that ultimately they're going to get rid of Dak Prescott after 2 years because then they could get out of the contract, and Arch Manning was going to save the Cowboys.
Yeah, and Dak is going to go and play. He may get, and that could happen. It could happen that he's traded, next year. But like I said, I would never trade that. He can win in a good situation. So if he goes to a team and they got a good enough supporting cast, he can win. But that's what I'm saying. Before this guy even played, he played 2 games. Both of them was in Texas, and it was against lower echelon teams.
And he beat Mississippi, who wasn't that good of a team.
So he played
Mississippi
them.
State, I think.
Yeah, I think Mississippi State.
Yeah,
or it might have been
Mississippi.
Southern, but it probably was Mississippi State.
It was.
But however it was in Texas he played, and he did not play any big time. I can't say that because that is a big time program. But what I'm saying, he didn't play in an atmosphere like he had to play in last week. Now it's all on him. It is his team. So let's see how he do. And then he has a flop like that. And then what they do? Immediately.
He's a bust.
He's a bust. It's the same thing. I mean, that's why you get up in arms about so many things. The same thing that happened to Shador.
Yeah.
He was oh my God, we got to have him start. Then he has the next game. Oh, get him out the league. I mean, how can you go from one end of the spectrum to the other in one game?
One game.
Yeah. I mean, we can go back in history and people probably don't remember these quarterbacks, especially younger people. But we go back to the big bust of Jim Plunkett, who was just sent all over the league and saying he's terrible, he's done. And then Al Davis said, well, we'll bring him in here. And they win 2 Super Bowls with him at quarterback. And he wasn't done.
And he's still not in the Hall of Fame.
No, nope. And it's just that, they jumped to conclusions right away. He did not look good. He didn't. I mean, he threw the ball. That first pass was just right into the surface. I'm like, what the heck? Didn't plant his feet, didn't do none of the things that he, you have to do as a quarterback. But am I going to call him a bust? No. I'm going to say what I said before. Play this year and play next year and get all that under you before you go to the NFL. That's all. We already know the talent is there. But there's another thing, another layer to this, though. Arch Manning, it's not his fault now, but he got the last name. That's his last name. And in high school, I think he was a 4 or 5 star. He might have been 5-star. But the type of competition he played against was horrifying.
Not good.
No. It's like saying, I'm trying to think of a good team that we might know in our high school that's around here, and you put them up against Poland or somebody like that, Fitch. Let them play them and see what the difference in their abilities once they play them. It's a completely different story. And I think that's the same thing with him. He has all the abilities. He's been coached. He's been coached by his family without a doubt to know all the things. But just to put him up there because of his last name and he didn't have big statistics in high school that was over everybody else. So, get a guy, give him an opportunity. I know I've seen all the things talking about he'll make an answer. This is this week that he can answer back, but I don't think this is truly the week because they playing, I don't know who, Sisters of the Poor. So whoever they playing, he may put up some nice numbers today until he gets into the atmosphere like he had, similar to what he had. It's not going to be. It's not the first game of the season. Just get into another tense atmosphere. We'll see where he's at. When he gets to play Alabama or LSU, I think they play them this year. Let's see where he's at when he plays those teams.
Well,
and we'll know.
I mean, here's the deal. Is he had 3 starts, I believe, last year. 2 were against, wins, easy wins. Yeah. I'll pull it up. And then they had 1 game. It was Mississippi. Maybe it was one of the Mississippis that he did, but it was the Mississippi that wasn't any good.
And he had to come, and he came in.
Yeah, and he started because Ewers was hurt. Played really good, 1 game. But here's what always cracks me up more than anything. First of all, we are beyond a microwave society. We're past that. We're like microwave oven on steroids. because as soon as somebody has one bad game they write them off. We see, like you brought up Shador, got people already saying he holds the ball, yada yada. He's not an NFL quarterback. You just bring it on. Now Arch Manning he's a bust. He's not any good. Yada, and the people are jumping on one game. Goes to Ohio State, a hard place to play, opening day with a brand new team around him. And granted, and he was playing a very good Ohio State team with an NFL defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, who is, a great coordinator, not a great head coach, but a very, very good coordinator. How many Super Bowls does he have? Right. The whole point is, and he goes to Ohio Stadium, first game of the year. They haven't even played any games yet,
right?
With a new team. And you could see that the team was kind of just trying to and even Ohio State wasn't having their quarterback throw a lot of ball downfield. They were throwing a lot of conservative passes because they haven't played any games. No. So this is one game, high pressure situation with a young quarterback that really hasn't had a lot of starts. And it's like, you've got to give this young man time to develop.
Yeah.
And that's the part that maybe his grandfather was right when he came out and said Arch needs to play another year after this one and then go to the NFL, which we've talked on this show.
He needs to anyway, yeah.
Yeah, he needs a lot more college starts to develop. Right. And people have, just because he's a Manning, they just think, boom, plop him in, and he's going to be Peyton Manning, Eli Manning.
That's what they do.
Right away, and he's going to, score, 60 points against Ohio State because throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns. Yep. And it was like, that was never going to happen. But people just go and take things to the nth degree. And if you really watch enough football, and you have, and obviously I have, you've played it, so you have a lot more knowledge as far as intricacy of the game than I do. But the whole point of it is I've watched enough football to realize the quarterback position is probably the hardest position on the field to learn. And it takes a lot of time to just develop that position. And that's what, the young Arch Manning will do. And I still think his grandfather was right initially when he says Arch needs to come back for another year. Yep. It took Joe Burrow how many years to develop? Mm-hmm. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, along with Patrick Mahomes. Yep. But nobody thought Patrick Mahomes was really that good of a quarterback. They thought he was going to be okay. But nobody in their right mind could see Patrick Mahomes being as great as he is. Mm-hmm. So there's all these guys that play that Tom Brady played at Michigan.
Yeah.
He was forgotten. He was Belichick drafted him in the 6th round. I mean, nobody thought Brady was going to be any good.
Right. Yeah.
I saw him play in college. I saw him lose to Ohio State that year in 1998.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw a lot of passes. He didn't jump off the page. Yeah, this guy's going to be a great quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody thought
that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't give up on guys or listen to you can't listen to that outside noise.
No.
And think that they're just done, That's why somebody had asked me outside here about Arch Manning and then talking about Shador, and they was talking about both of them are probably no good. I said, they both got things they did that was wrong. Because even though they played like that, he played like that, they had opportunities to either tie that game or win it. With plays like crossing routes, he was hitting the guy at the knees when he could have put it on target.
Sidearm,
yeah, doing all kinds of stuff.
Supposedly he was injured. So now they're bringing this out. Supposedly he had some kind of injury now that we're learning. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. All I know is it's one game.
It's just one game. And those things, the things I've seen he did is correctable. Same thing with Shador. Which if Shador had the chance to get it back, when he dropped back, and I do say what Kurt Warner said, the ops, as they say, were different for Gabriel than him. Because Gabriel was 3 steps to drop, get rid of the ball. Shador's plays were more 5 steps, so it's deeper in the pocket, set up and throw. But see, Shador got to know that I set up in the pocket, I don't see my guy open, I look for check down. And if the check down's not open, I just throw the ball away.
Right.
Don't take sacks. Don't try to make big plays. You don't have the speed that your dad had to get away from guys.
No, he doesn't have.
You might have some looseness here and there, but this
No.
is the NFL. Everybody's fast.
Everybody's fast.
Your guys is fast. Linemen will catch you. Okay, so you can't do stuff like that. And if he had it to take back, it would have been better him throwing. So what would his stats would look like? It would look better just throwing the ball away than taking sacks. Same thing with Arch Manning. He wasn't setting his feet.
No.
He wasn't doing any of that. Those are all fundamental stuff.
Yeah.
He'll get it. You think he's not going to get it? He's going to get all that.
He just looked out of sync.
Yeah, he was.
You could tell that. The team kind of actually looked. I thought Texas, you could see he was a rebuilt team.
Yeah.
For today, 12 o'clock on ABC, Texas plays San Jose State.
Okay.
Go home and watch it. We'll see what Arch Manning's got.
San Jose State.
And
they
then
can,
next
they'll
week,
throw the ball around.
He'll throw it around. UTEP is next week.
See?
And Sam Houston is the following week.
He'll be back in the head of the Heisman race.
Right.
He will be your Heisman Trophy guy again.
Yep.
Right after that.
And then they play at their SEC schedule kicks in October 4th at Florida. Then it's Oklahoma at home, at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, Vanderbilt home, at Georgia, Arkansas home, and then Texas A&M at home. They don't play Alabama. But Alabama, after they got absolutely boat raced by Florida State last week, I don't know where you want to draw it. Now they're talking about, that coach being on the hot seat.
Well,
but
he's definitely going to be on there.
He's not, because they can't afford his buyout.
Yeah, I know, 70-something million.
Yeah. Yeah. I was listening, and one of the guys said that his buyout is absolutely, he signed an 8-year, $87 million deal, and I believe the buyout was 70. Yes, $70 million.
70s, I remember that. Yeah.
He gets Kalen DeBoer's buyout is roughly $70 million if he's fired without cause by December 1st. That's 90% of the remainder of the contract.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere either.
Yeah. Only way I can see him leaving is, he's
not.
I mean, it gets so miserable for him because they can make it miserable.
Oh, I know. Alabama's a brutal place.
So it could be tough down there, but
but he's not leaving.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only way I can see him leaving is just get so miserable you can't take it.
And maybe that's
can't function right, and you just hey, we work this thing out,
and then he works a deal out.
Yeah, because I mean, it could get like that because it's just, but see, you don't panic after one game,
people.
And this is what I'm saying about Florida State. Florida State was picked in the top 10 last year.
Right.
To be in the top 10.
And they just
fell. And maybe a playoff team.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what happened.
No.
So he comes back this year with mainly some of the same guys now. I loved him. When I seen they had that quarterback, I said, that's the guy that played at Boston College. I liked him at Boston College. And I seen him, I said, he comes to Florida State. It's almost like he didn't have to change any of his colors because we're similar. Uniforms are similar.
It is.
Very similar.
Colors. This color scheme for Florida State.
And even the way they look, the uniforms is almost similar.
Yeah, they are. If you really break it down.
Yeah.
Brock Glenn is the quarterback for Florida State.
No, it's
Tommy Castillos.
Yep.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. When I seen him, I said, he's there.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And he came right in.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And he talked stuff to Alabama and told them, y'all can't stop me. He told them, and they were going to be after him, but they couldn't stop him. He could run. He was putting that ball right on target.
Yeah, that's who it is.
And it's just, that team looked completely different. But those are the guys that was playing last year. Except the quarterback and a couple other players, same team.
Same team.
It's just that
what happened.
He got rid of his entire staff and brought a new staff in. That coach and just brought guys in that he had confidence in with before and coached with. And the whole thing changed.
And he's 5'11" and 200. He's not a real big guy.
No, he's not a big guy.
But he played.
He plays big.
He played big.
Yep.
He passed for 152 yards. He rushed for a game high of 78 yards.
Yep.
And he was unbelievable. He had 2 seasons at Boston College, and then he had 1 season at UCF.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up with Florida State, and they looked like pretty much world beaters. They took Alabama out to the woodshed, and Alabama was really never in that game.
No, I mean they just played so good. They put so much pressure on. So I mean I'm looking forward to see how Alabama responds, and I'm gonna be watching Florida State as we go forward. I like that too. I like how they look.
Well, this is what's going to get. We got to get to the NFL picks here. We'll start coming up on the halftime already of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? But this is the time of year that it goes by in a flash.
Yeah,
because there's so much to get to and so much to talk about. But when you break, like I said, you start bring. I know it's only one game, but moving forward, you're going to be looking at Florida State now. You got to look, maybe they're favored to win the ACC. Clemson got beat by LSU in a very close game at it. Clemson, very good. I mean, So now you're looking at LSU. What impact are they going to have? And then you see Alabama get just boat raced by Florida State, and they're in that SEC. We'll pull up their schedule here, but potentially when you look at that SEC schedule, Bama has to play at Georgia. They got the win this week. They'll get Louisiana Monroe this week. They'll win that going away, obviously, recover. But then they have Wisconsin at home for what that's worth. But then it's at Georgia, Vandy, at Missouri. Now, they say Missouri could be the team.
Yeah, they tough too.
Is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be almost at Missouri. They could actually run into a real tough opponent, but then it's Tennessee home at South Carolina. We saw what South Carolina has.
Gotta watch out for Tennessee too.
Watch out for Tennessee. And then after South Carolina, they get a week off, and then they have LSU, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Eastern Illinois, they have that stupid game at the end of the season. They throw them, and then they finish with Auburn. But you start looking at that schedule, like you said, don't sleep on Tennessee. Missouri, they said, is a potential problem for them. And then they've got at South, right, that's a brutal conference. Top to bottom, that's the best conference.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not close.
You're going to be challenged even with Vanderbilt. And I only mean to say it like that because they play well anyway.
They play well, right.
Yep.
So when you break the schedule down for Bama, I mean, they've got a lot of teams on this schedule that could potentially, if he loses 3 to 4 games, people down there will be going crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they forget that I believe Saban's first year, he didn't do very well in Alabama.
Yeah, it might not in his first. That's why it's crucial for him to have a better season this year. He can't do this again this year and next year and all. It just can't happen. They will be demanding, But Saban might have had that early first year might have been terrible for their standards. He might have been 8 and something or 9 and 3 or something, but we know after that what happened, and he was always in the running. So that's what they want to see. They want to see that clear-cut team that's always making noise and is right there. So, it's a wake-up call. First game of the season. See how they do, how they respond.
It's only the first game.
New quarterback, Simpson. He's not that bad.
Here.
See how he does.
Saban's first year at LSU, he was 8-4. Mm-hmm. First year at Michigan State, he was 6-5-1. First year at Alabama, he was basically 2-6. I mean, it took him a while to get going, and then once that was the bad, and then after that he took off.
Yeah.
But Saban had, he was working LSU again. It was a work in progress. where he got them. So it takes time.
Yeah.
Which nobody has any patience for.
Well,
Saturday morning sports
that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Saturday morning sports page. Back. Dave Clark. A lot to get to. On the local level, we didn't get into this story. It's not a good story. Local high school, Ursuline, canceled their game last night with Farrell. There was a suit filed against them by one of the players' mothers alleging a lot of horrible allegations, assault, sexual assault, a lot of it's a bad situation.
It is.
They canceled their game last night against Farrell. The lawsuit's online. It's a very disturbing when you read it. I read some of it. I couldn't read all of it. It's that bad.
It is bad.
And I'll leave it as it's under investigation, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here.
I done seen some things.
And
I done seen hazing back in college days, like for fraternities and stuff,
Right.
being a part of that. This stuff that they were doing.
No, it's
unbelievable. I mean,
it's brutal. It's not a
way
good
too far.
situation. And again, these are all allegations.
Right.
So, what is true in fact, we don't know, but this is a lawsuit filed, and obviously I believe the mother, the kids don't even go to the school there anymore, and I believe she's moved.
Right.
So this is just going to be a wait and see as they unfold this and what impact it's going to have on the school. Again, Ursuline was supposed to play Farrell last night, and they canceled the game. And a lot of questions are they going to cancel any games moving forward? And what is obviously the sad part is the kids that aren't involved pay the prices because they can't get to play football if they cancel
Right.
the games. And so at the end of the day, it's just something where they have to sit back and see how this thing unfolds. Cause
Yes, it's Ugh.
It's a very
Ugly.
tough situation.
It's ugly.
And it's ugly from go. But like you said, you get into these hazing situations, and they could be. There was years ago. It was a FAMU band was involved. There was a hazing death back in 2011. And this was a former band member. They actually was convicted in a hazing death that happened. They had like this it was crossing bus C was the ritual. That was the ritual they had at FAMU with the hazing with the band members that actually led to a death, and a band member was accused and was convicted of that death. So I mean, some of these hazing things can really get out of control.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just throw that as an example to say this is not the first time hazing has occurred, and that the hazing across the board can be, these hazing situations are, that turn your stomach.
Yeah. I mean, it's too much. I mean, like I said, they take it too far, and I just think anytime you get into a point where there's personal grounds that you have, You can't be putting your hands on. I don't care if it's sexually or just putting your hands on a period. I done seen it in fraternities and different things where they actually put their hands upon somebody just by maybe pushing them around, slap them, punch. What? I'm telling you, you can't do that kind of stuff. And if you are going to do it, it's going to be some problems that you may have to pay with that. You could pay with somebody sue you and different things, but you could get hurt bad because it could be retaliation behind all that type of stuff. And it's just crazy.
The sad part is it comes down to the coaching. Trying as a coach, they've got to be really attuned to this, and to the point where they have to be aware of is going on, have to stop it.
Yeah, and don't take, if you hear something, don't just take it for granted that, it doesn't matter. You check in everything.
Right. You have to check in.
You got to check.
Right.
Because this is a different era and atmosphere that we live in today.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that we see happen today is not things I remember seeing when I was younger or even hearing about. And there's some of these things today, they don't care about anything. They don't care about human life.
No.
And there's a big difference. So.
No, this could get, like I said, go off the rails very quickly.
Yeah, I don't understand how you do different things to kids and think that this is being fun.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it is it's just
how is that fun? Humiliating somebody.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it is you have that whole factor involved there, and then you have to, like I said, exactly.
Especially that type of humiliation, like that. And, we might say we see a game and you're playing against a certain team and you want to go out there and beat them good to show them that, hey, we're tough.
Yeah.
Somebody call that humiliation. That's different.
No, that's
between the lines.
That's a feel. That's between the lines. You're playing a game.
Yeah, but to do that personally, humiliate a person, come on. That's the humanity. That's just insane.
Let's slide over to the NFL first week. We talked about the Cowboys, the Eagles, obviously. Eagles 24-20. Bolts winning last night, beating the Chiefs 27-21, big win. Let's look at today's games. The Buccaneers are at the Falcons, Dave Clark. Falcons are actually getting 1.5 road game, 1:00 for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, a lot of people have them winning their divisional. In fact, it was either Atlanta or the Buccaneers. Most people had the Buccaneers from what I saw. There are a few people think Atlanta will win the division.
Yeah,
some people have the Buccaneers getting into the conference finals. I think there was somebody had Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'd go that far, but there's a lot of hope and promise with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
They open up the game at the Falcons, and they actually give the Falcons are the home dog, but only getting 1.5. This game is almost like a pick'em game.
Yeah, I'll probably slide towards Tampa Bay. Even though I think Atlanta's going to be excited with, see what Penix does at the quarterback room. I even think he's going to make Kyle Pitts a big part of their offense.
They will.
Now, and he was in it when he was a rookie, but he hasn't had that type of situation since then. So it's hard to see because you don't know exactly what's going to come out. We've seen Penix for small sample size, I think 3 games at the end. But Baker's been playing well. Their defense been playing well, so I'm just going to go with them.
I like Tampa Bay in a close game.
But that is a road. They're the road team, right?
The road team. They're at the Dome in Atlanta. Let's go to the Bengals at the Browns. And the Browns are another home dog getting 5.5. So you have the Bengals on the road, a slow-starting Bengal team wanting to change that. For people that don't remember, they lost last year at home against the Patriots, and it just seemed like the Bengals were down that rabbit hole and could never get themselves out of it, and they missed the playoffs by 1 game. Goes back to they blew too many games in the beginning of the season and could not find a way back, and they might have been the best team in the NFL at the end of the season, but because they played so poorly in the first half of the season, they were out of the playoff, and people were worried if they got into the playoffs, the other teams didn't want to touch the Bengals because they were really playing a lot better toward the end of the season. And with a quarterback like Joe Burrow, you can't ever count them out. So now, but they are on the road against Cleveland in Cleveland. Bengals have to give 5.5. They've had trouble with Cleveland in the past.
He hasn't.
They
got his number kind of
right.
I don't know. How many points?
5.5. The Browns get 5.5 at home.
It's a hard one.
A tough one
because they play good against them all the time.
I remember them. Was it a Monday night game? The Browns just took them to the woodshed.
Yeah,
Last year was it last year?
It might have been last year.
Yeah,
just beat
they
down.
just beat Burrow up and beat the team.
Yep, and it wouldn't shock because they just always do it. But oh man, I think the Bengals was going to come out and attack with Chase and them. I really do. They got to prove something,
right?
They got to prove something
because you think from last year,
they signing Quentin Judkins today, I think.
Yeah.
I think he gets signed today.
Right.
I don't think he'll play or nothing, but they got to run the ball. So who is their running back? I'm trying to think right now. Who the Browns? Oh, okay. They got Sampson.
Right. It's kind of a committee.
Oh, Ford. I forgot Ford's still there.
Ford.
They got to run the ball.
I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think they come out better.
Where's this game at?
At Cleveland, though.
Oh, goodness gracious. 5.5.
5.5. I'll lay the points and take the Bengals. I'm 0-2 already, so I don't know. I
don't know.
I could be off for a real bad
I still see Chase running. Somebody chasing Chase.
Right. Right. Who's going to be right? They'll be chasing Chase down the field.
Oh, my goodness. Denzel Ward is playing now, right?
Yeah, I believe he is.
He was banged up, but he always gives them problems, too.
But he does, too.
Let me see. Yeah.
I just think that the
Bengals can't stop nobody. Their defense is terrible.
Their defense isn't good.
Even in preseason, it was terrible.
Right.
Even though you got Hendrickson and Pat. Right. 5.5, you said?
Yep.
They may win, but it might be close. So I got to take them 5.5 at first.
So you want the Browns and the points?
Okay. I got to take them at first.
Okay. Let's go to the Miami Dolphins at the Colts, 1.5. Colts are the Dolphins get 1.5 on the road against the Colts. So the Colts going with Daniel Jones as the quarterback, obviously.
I'm actually taking Tua.
And Tua.
I'm taking Tua.
And the points.
Yeah, because they are finally not looking at them as being good.
No, they're not getting
all the time. They're getting all that high praise. Something always happens. They just fall apart. So now you got turmoil. Tyreek Hill. This, he's not in the good graces with the team. All that stuff. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm just gonna take them.
I'll take the Fins and the points. They're the road team. I'll take them.
You get a 1.5. You said
you're getting a 1.5. Let's go to the Raiders at the Patriots.
Raiders. Okay. I don't even know what it is. I'm just going to
2.5
every game.
Raiders coming east. One of these
Yeah, I don't
teams
like
coming
that.
east. That's not good. Patriots are laying 2.5. So the Raiders get 2.5. I'll go with the Patriots on at home.
They're home dog.
They're actually Raiders get 2.5.
Oh, the Raiders getting 2.
Yeah. They're almost a pick 'em. Anything
Yeah.
under 3 is usually close to a pick 'em.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna take the Raiders.
take the Raiders. All right. Let's go to the Cardinals at the Saints. Saints 6.5. Saints are a home dog getting 6.5 versus the Cardinals. So Saints are obviously not expected to do anything this year.
I know.
Radler is going to be their starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Drake May and the Patriots and Vrabel roll in their home. And we did that. I'm sorry. Not Vrabel. I looked up one. Cardinals at the Saints. My bad. Cardinals at the Saints. It's going to be Murray. We got Murray on the road in New Orleans.
I'm gonna take Murray on the road. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of hard to do that. He's giving up 6.5 to them.
He gives up 6.5.
Wow. At home dog.
That's a home dog getting some points, but
yeah, but come on, it's time for Arizona to step up and take care of business.
Yeah. Let's go to the Steelers or at the Jets. Jets get 2.5. Home dog getting 2.5 versus the Steelers. Rodgers going back to Shea Stadium.
I'm taking. Woo,
MetLife, boy, I am getting old.
You went way back.
I went way back. Shea Stadium, oh my God, what a terrible place to play football.
Stadium's still shaking.
Oh man, they finally the Shea Stadium. What year did they level Shea Stadium?
I don't know.
Speaking of the devil,
boy, I can see those.
Boy, they
used to have some big rats.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, I've been up there many times back in the day.
Shea Stadium. I went to a lot of games at Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
Watched the Jets in the 60s. I was growing up. We had tickets, and when they played, that was new. I mean, people don't realize that opened in 1964, and that was like state-of-the-art stadium in 1964. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mets moved from the Polo Grounds.
Yep.
Where they started in 62, and they opened up in 1964 at Shea Stadium. And Shea Stadium was like, hey, state-of-the-art, April 14th of 1964. They demoed it. They closed it in September of 2008. Okay. Let's see when they actually demolished it. But Shea was a lot of games at Shea Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Went to. Yeah, they demolished it October. It took them 4 months to do it. From October 4th to February 18th was the final. They demolished it, or at least finished the demolition on February 8th of 2009. So Shea Stadium has been laid to rest. But getting back to the Steelers at the Jets. I'll take the Steelers. I'll take Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got something to prove. And the Jets are the Jets, though. I mean, I like the coach. I like Glenn. I don't know about Justin Fields. A lot of criticism coming out. It's funny that both the quarterbacks are playing the teams they were on last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fields playing the Steelers. He was on them, and then obviously Rodgers playing the Steelers. He was on them.
Yep, with the Jets. So
Jets, and he was on the Jets.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Giants at Washington. Giants are getting 6.5 on the road. I'm going to go with the Giants, and I would normally not. I think the Giants play good against Washington, and they're going to keep it close. I don't know if they can win.
Yeah. Well, I think they can win if they get good quarterback play.
Right.
If Russell Wilson, which he usually plays early in the season, at least he's playing good, I think they can give him. I already told you, I think they're going to be surprising. So I'm taking them to 6.5.
Yeah.
For the Giants.
Giants get 6 and a hook at home. Yeah. I mean, on the road against Washington. Mm-hmm. So I'll take the Giants and the 6.5. Let's slide over to the Panthers, or at the Jacksonville Jags. Panthers get 3.5 as they travel to the Jacksonville Jags. So we've got the Jags laying 3 and a hook to the Panthers. Obviously, there's people that believe the Jacksonville Jags, this is their year. Like, this is going to be, I've read where, there's experts have them winning that division. That AFC South, they're getting people think that that's an open division, which probably is if you look at the teams.
I'm going to take, oh my goodness.
But do you take the Panthers on the road, or do you think this is the...
This might be a bad week for me. I'm going to take the Panthers.
Okay, I'll go with the Jags at home.
Be dangerous.
Panthers could be a surprising team, though.
Yeah, no.
Bryce Young has kind of turned the corner. He looked like an NFL quarterback. He's played good. Seems like Tepper's kind of backed away from the team a little bit, not wanting to be the George Steinbrenner of NFL.
Keep the fence around him.
Right. He likes to fire everybody.
Mm-hmm. He loves fire. I mean, he's...
Yeah. Well, George Steinbrenner, going back, George Steinbrenner thought like they should win every game.
Yeah,
the Yankees should win. The Yankees should go 162-0. Like he did. Like people like, no, George, they're going to go through. It's baseball. It's a marathon. You go through ebb and flow. You're going to have up and down. He did not get that. He was very impulsive.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Titans at the Broncos. 8.5. This is on at 4:05 on Fox. Broncos lay 8.5. They're home. The Titans might be
sneaky.
One of the worst teams in the league. We're going to see though.
Yeah, I'm going to see. I don't know. I mean, because I look at their the defensive line.
Yeah,
one of the best defensive lines around.
Can they keep it close? Or could they go out to Denver and pull up the upset?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of points. I'm still gonna go because I think Denver's defense is so good. I'm gonna go with them, but this could be an upset. It could be.
Yeah. So you want the Broncos?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give up 8.5. That's a lot of wood.
The 49ers are at the Seahawks. Seahawks get 1.5. So a home dog getting 1.5 points. Again, this is a borderline pick'em game.
Oh boy.
So the Niners have the easiest schedule in the NFL. The Giants have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yep.
The toughest schedule, the Giants, number 1.
Yep, I think them.
Niners supposedly have the easiest.
They got the easiest. I think Giants and Philadelphia and somebody else is right behind.
Yeah.
They got the hardest.
Hardest schedule.
Yeah.
So if you take, Seahawks, you got to figure Darnold's the quarterback. Now the Niners, again, they've turned the roster over somewhat.
I'm going to take the Seattle since they're at home. I mean, I don't know.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. That's always a tough game anyway.
Because it's the first game, I'm going to go Seahawks, take the home team. Next one up, 4:25, Lions on CBS. Lions at the Packers. 1.5. Packers lay 1.5. These are like pick'em games. Anything under 3 points, in my eyes, it's kind of a pick'em. If it's under 2 points, it is a pick'em game.
Yeah.
1.5.
I'm taking Detroit.
Yeah. I have to go with the Lions.
Yep.
I'm not sure I'm sold 100%. Jordan Love, I know people in Green Bay, I got to wait on him. He plays good. He's still erratic. I think he's still developing. Now, he could be a great quarterback.
Oh, yes, no doubt.
Potentially. But he is up and down. And he does get hurt.
Consistent. Got to get consistent.
More consistency. Let's go to the Texans are at the Rams. The Texans get 3.5 on the road against the Rams. Stafford is ready to play.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams at home.
Yeah.
That defense.
Me too.
But I think C.J. Stroud's going to bounce back, though.
I do too.
I think he's going to have a good season.
Let's go to the Sunday night game. Maybe one of the best games. You already know it. The Ravens are at the Bills. The Bills are actually getting 1.5, so the Bills are a home dog, getting 1.5, which again is almost a pick'em. But the Bills Sunday night opening up with the Ravens, that place will be out of control. Those Buffalo Bill fans will be as they always do, jump off tables, do everything under the sun. They'll be out in that parking lot doing all kinds of crazy stuff. The Buffalo Bill
I'll
fans.
take the points. Buffalo, 1.5.
1.5. Me too. I'll take the Bills and
I don't know.
And the point.
Lamar,
no,
like they might go and destroy them.
I don't know. Between
coin flip, yes.
Between Allen
and Lamar, I tell you, that's a coin flip.
This is a coin flip game. It's an eyelash game, one way or another.
Yep.
Let's look at the Vikings or at the Bears, the Monday nighter. Boy, this has got a lot going on because you've got Caleb Williams now with a new line. Hopefully they will protect him a lot better than they did last year. Then they've got the Bears. I mean, the Vikings. Everybody's seeing JJ. JJ McCarthy. Is McCarthy the guy? He sat out last year with a meniscus tear. We haven't really seen him play at all at the NFL level. Some people don't even think he was a great college quarterback. They're like out. They don't think he didn't look like an NFL passing quarterback in college. People just didn't buy into it. Some did, but others, I know there are a lot of critics out there that weren't sold on him in the end. And they didn't. Michigan, their style of offense wasn't really.
It has a lot to do with it,
right?
Because like you said earlier, nobody looked at Brady and it jumped off the screen.
No, he couldn't even get the job over Drew Henson.
That's right.
He split that job with Drew Henson.
Yep. So that's why I said.
And people thought Henson was better than Brady.
Yeah, no. And he came to the NFL in Dallas. He was so terrible.
Yeah, he wasn't any good. He tried baseball with the Yankees. He wasn't any good at baseball. Drew Henson, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going to Dallas, and everybody, and he really wasn't that good of an NFL quarterback. He didn't even last.
McCarthy kind of surprised me last year in preseason.
Right.
Because I didn't know he could throw the ball that good. And when he played with Minnesota in the preseason, and he was throwing these deep outs and putting them right on target, I was like, I never seen that at Michigan. But they don't do it.
No, they don't.
It's almost still Bo Schembechler. The ghost of Bo Schembechler is still there. They don't throw down the field.
Well, it's still Schembechler.
Yeah, it's still them.
It's still got that hangover.
So I really didn't think he could throw. I didn't think he could throw really at all.
Bo ran the ball.
And then when he got there, when he got to Minnesota and it was in the preseason, he looked so good before he tore that meniscus. I said, this guy they might have something here for the future. So the future didn't know it was going to come that quick for him, but, they must think, they know more than I would know. So,
yeah, this is maybe one of the hardest games to pick because I really don't know how good the Vikings are going to be because I don't know how good J.J. McCarthy's going to be.
Yeah. Well, one thing I know about Minnesota, they had good defense.
No, the team around them is good, and I think I think they got a good defense.
Yeah, so I think,
and he's a good coach. They got a well-coached team.
Yeah. McConnell's a good coach.
But I just don't know the quarterback.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't know he could throw. He showed me he could do that, and accurately too. That's the thing.
So
that
do you
shocked
think
me.
They're on the road Monday nighter, and the Bears are getting? The Bears get 1.5. This is again a pick'em game.
I think they're going to be so much better, the Bears.
And I think, new coach. I think Caleb has got a year under his belt with a really bad offensive line. And I think he's got a really good coach, and I think he's going to have a good year.
Yeah.
Now the question is, to me, it's the Vikings being the team that's up in the air is because the quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to take Bears at home. Because, and the only reason why I'm taking the Bears at home is because I just not sold on JJ, but JJ could come out and be Johnny Unitas for all I know, and they could beat the Bears by 2 touchdowns too.
I'm gonna take the Vikings. I'm gonna go ahead and take them because he did. I really didn't. I just didn't know he could throw the football. I'm serious. When I seen that, I thought it was somebody else at first in there, and that's McCartney. And he's putting it right on target, deep out throws. Those was the hardest throws to make.
I'm taking the approach, since it's early, I'm just leaning toward the home teams here.
Yeah, especially when they're only a point and a half.
Yeah, when they're a point and a half. Fourth quarter coming up. A lot to get to. Saturday Morning Sports Page. Dave Clark with me. I'm Pat Lucia. Western Reserve Radio. Back after timeout.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. 330-707-4202. Get in and talk sports. Every Saturday morning here on Western Reserve Radio is where Dave Clark and I do this show. I'm Pat Lucia, talking sports as we do this every Saturday morning from 9 to 11. As we motored through the NFL and looking at those games and looking at these divisions, Dave Clark, we'll get to the college here in just a little bit because we've got a few. This isn't a great weekend for college football. Like last week was really a great weekend.
Yeah.
Because you had wall-to-wall and had great games, really good games. Mm-hmm. But I guess, looking at the college last week, the team that kind of really caught me a little bit by surprise was Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just blew UCLA off the map.
Yep. They're always good, though.
But they're always a good football
That's Willingham,
team.
right?
Willingham's got them, and
good.
he's always a solid coach.
Yep.
And I was
just at Fresno or somewhere, he was like that. He's just
right.
He's just a good coach. Always has his team prepared. So, didn't know they'd beat him like that. But
they just took UCLA out to the proverbial woodshed last week at UCLA. Now, supposedly there were only 10,000 people at the game.
Yeah.
Down there in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So that stadium holds over 100,000. Yeah, if there's 10,000 people at the game, that's like playing, in almost like with nobody at the game.
Yeah, right. That's
not
no support, no morale. No. They can't even get you fired up with that kind of
43-10 was the final last week.
Yeah.
Utah went down to just waxed UCLA.
That's where you when the game is televised, you try to keep it on a section
Oh, yeah.
where there's fans at, so because you don't want them to see the whole stadium. That's terrible. That's terrible. If it was only 10,000 there, that's really bad inside the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. That's a big place.
That's a big place.
It's a big place there.
That's like when they used to do the high school championships down at Ohio Stadium. They stopped.
Yeah.
It's just because they weren't going to get 80. You're not going to get 100,000 people going to a high school.
You're right.
Game. It's just not. I mean,
No.
you're going to get 20,000 maybe.
Yeah, and
you can't.
Even though that's a lot, it don't seem like there's nobody in there.
It's like, but when you go to a stadium of 100, now what is it, 110,000, Ohio Stadium? I got to look at it goes up every year.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get 15 to 20,000 fans going to a stadium that seats over 100,000, it's not going to be a good look.
No, you just want to put it in a smaller venue, so makes it much more intense and everything like that. That's what you want.
Let's go ahead and let's look at the college games. I did throw some of them together.
And it's better games than you think, too.
That's the key.
You think it might not be because the big names was last
Right.
week. That's what it was.
People have a tendency to like to just make a statement. One talk show guy loves to just say, it's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah.
It's a garbage week. I won't mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. But it's a garbage weekend. This weekend stinks for college.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but some of these games can get really interesting and be competitive games. And if you really like football, I think some of the college games can get interesting. Now, granted, the problem you have with this weekend is you do have some bad matchups. You know, the Texas playing the...
Oh, yeah.
And Ohio State plays Grambling.
Yeah. All those is on TV, too.
Right.
I'm not watching them. I mean, I may flash through it. I'm not watching it. Because
Ohio State, Big Ten Network today at 3:30, Ohio State is hosting Grambling.
Right.
I mean, now the only thing is you never know, and it's weird because if Ohio State has a letdown from the Texas game, could it be an interesting game? Potentially, but not with maybe Grambling just because of the,
and it's nothing against
No.
Grambling. You just don't have enough.
No, they don't have the
the depth,
the talent,
everything.
the depth, all of it.
Yeah, it's going to be too hard. It'd be too hard. And then to come and play up there in that situation. So it's too hard for them.
No.
Nice money for them, though.
Oh, no, that's going to be that's why they do it. That's
Yeah.
why all the teams, Kent State is a big one. They like to go get, slaughtered.
And I'm glad to see them
they're doing
in that losing streak. They ended one of the longest losing streaks by winning last week.
Oh, Kent State.
Kent State. Longest losing streak in
college
football. They won. So I give it to them. That was, I'm sure that was great. And I meant to go back and look. It's still on my on the streaming little library. I got to look at the game. I want to watch it because these guys have been losing for quite some time. Oh, yep. And it's some games I'm very interested in that I don't know if it's going to be on our list.
Yeah, they beat Mamaroneck. They beat them 21-17 last Saturday.
Yeah.
At home.
And I was going to ask you, before we even start the pick, did you ever anybody get to see Maryland's quarterback, Malik Washington?
Now, they were saying last week he caught everybody by surprise. They said that he really lit it up.
Oh, yeah, that guy's...
They said that he's unbelievable.
Yeah, that guy's a leader,
yeah,
too.
They
He's
said,
only 19.
And he's only... Yeah.
I mean, you talking about putting the ball on the money. Oh, my goodness. He's got some time, too, so...
He went to Archbishop Spalding High School. He's 6'5" and 231. Wow, yeah, there's a picture of him, man. He is, big kid.
Washington, yep.
But he can light it up. They said that they were talking a little bit about him last week. He had 3 touchdowns, and he threw for 258 yards.
Yep. Yep, and this ran the offense really good, so that was something.
And he's from Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Yep.
So Maryland may be a interesting team when you have a quarterback like that.
Yeah, you got to have that position taken care of.
When
so
you have,
help you.
And in college, in some cases, you've seen a team can be okay, but if you have that quarterback, can seem to elevate the team, and they can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a young quarterback, especially here is a young man. You said he was 19 years old,
mm-hmm.
and he's a freshman.
Yep.
And you figure he's gonna, be there at least 3 years. And if he's a true freshman, it'd be interesting to see how this young man plays this year.
Be something to watch. I'm interested again. I don't know if it's on your list, but Florida. I think it's Florida is playing USF. I'm trying to think which team destroyed a top team last year. Was it them? Or was it UCF? I can't remember which team last week beat one of your more recognizable colleges.
Well, they have South Florida today.
Yeah, and I'm wondering who South Florida played last week.
Did South Florida beat Fresno State?
No, it was a bigger name team than that they like. Somebody that came down to play them and they just dominated. Like caught me off by surprise. I know they always have good talent, but they just dominated the team. So it might have been UCF. I don't know if it was them or USF. It was the University of South Florida. I don't know which one it was. It's one of them two, though. I don't know who they played last week.
Well, South Florida is at Florida this week.
Right. And if it's them that won last week against a more highly publicized team,
they beat Boise State.
That's who it is.
South Florida beat Boise State
them. It was them.
Thursday, August 28th. They blew them out 34-7. Now, some people say because of the humidity and the heat, Boise State had nothing, especially the second half. Boise State fell apart. But now people are saying, but don't underestimate the South Florida Bulls.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
So
they
don't
play good against a ranked team.
This will be an interesting game at 4:15. It's on the SEC network.
Yeah, and we'll see because they both will be used to the heat.
And they're both used and at Florida.
And I just seen on our backdrop TV there, seen that the degrees in Florida at kickoff is 88. 88 degrees and sunny.
Probably humid too.
Oh, it's definitely going to be humid.
It's going to be thick.
Florida's heat. Oh, yeah, it's going to be burning up.
It's going to be hot. Down on that field, you'll be melting.
Oh, yeah. And that game I seen it, it's on too. So I forgot what network it's on, but I seen it is on.
Yeah, it's on the SEC network.
Okay. Yep.
That game, you're going to watch it today at 4:15 on the SEC network.
Yeah, so
Florida.
I always try to find other games just in case.
Yeah, that might actually be. I know the Buckeyes are on Big Ten Network at 3:30. That could be over. You never know. But then this might be the game to go over to watch.
Yeah, I don't know what else. This
could be an interesting watch.
But yep. But I see once you have your list, we'll see what games.
Well, let's hit let's look at these games, Dave Clark, real quick. Illinois at Duke today, noon ESPN. Duke gets 2.5.
Is that they're coming up to Illinois?
Yep. No.
Oh, is that Duke?
At Duke. Duke's a home dog getting 2.5.
That's Manny Diaz.
I'll take Illinois.
Yeah. That's two good coaches.
Bielema, who's got Illinois, has resurrected the program. They won last week 51-3, beat Western Illinois, and then Duke won Elon 45-17. So they kind of got their easy games out.
Now, how much is Duke getting?
2.5.
Illinois should be able to handle them, but you never know. But I'll take them. I'll take Illinois.
You're going to take me too. Let's go to Iowa State, 3.5. Iowa State lays 3.5 to Iowa. The rival game, noon on Fox. Iowa on the road getting 3.5 at Iowa State.
I'm taking Iowa State.
Yeah, I'll take Iowa State too. Okay.
Yep.
Let's move on to Baylor at SMU.
That's on TV. Well, everything.
That's on noon. Yeah, this is on noon on CW.
Yep.
Baylor is actually getting 2.5 points. They lost last week against Auburn 38-24, and then SMU beat East Texas A&M 42-13. So we've got, what do you think, Baylor getting 2.5, or do you like SMU?
I'm going to take, oh, man.
I'll go with Baylor.
And it's at, the game's at SMU?
It's at SMU. I should go with the home team, but
They're giving Baylor points, though, right?
Baylor's getting points, 2.5.
I'm going to take SMU.
Let's move to Arizona State at Mississippi State. This game is going to be battle of the two states, Arizona State at Mississippi State. Mississippi State gets 6.5 points. This is on 7:30 tonight on ESPN2. So if you're so inclined, you can slide over to this game, maybe catch a little bit of Mississippi State and Arizona State.
And this is down in Mississippi?
This is down at Mississippi State.
I'm going to actually take them as a home dog.
Okay. I'll try Arizona State on the road. I don't know if that's a good move. Let's go Ole Miss at Kentucky today at 3:30. Another SEC team going at it. 3:30 on ABC. Kentucky gets 8.5
against
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
So home dog. Kentucky, the home dog, getting 8.5.
Oh boy. I'm going.
I like Kentucky. I'll take because I like the points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
8.5.
That's a lot of home. I could see, early in the schedule, Kentucky beat Toledo 34-16. Ole Miss rolled Georgia State 63-7. I don't know what you draw from that.
Right. Oh, I'm going to take Ole Miss.
Okay.
At home.
At home. Let's go to Michigan at Oklahoma. This might be the most interesting, maybe the prime game of the day.
Yep.
Two ranked teams going at it. Michigan on the road at Oklahoma. Michigan gets 4.5 points as they go on the road to Oklahoma tonight at 7:30 ABC game.
Michigan getting 4.
Yeah, 4.5. Michigan gets 4.5. They beat New Mexico last week 34-17. And Oklahoma rolled Illinois State 35-3.
What's the make of those? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know where you draw from any of that. I'll go with the home team and lay the points. I don't know. I'm tempted to take Michigan in the points because they can keep it to 3.
Yeah, and it says 4.5,
It's
right?
4.5. I'll go Michigan in the points.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm going to take those points.
Okay, let's go to Kansas at Missouri today at 3:30, ESPN2.
Other than Jalen Daniels.
Yeah.
That quarterback for Kansas.
So what do you want?
How much is Kansas getting?
6.5.
But they playing in Missouri, though, aren't they?
Yeah, at Missouri. Kansas gets 6.5.
Jalen Daniels is a problem, though.
Yep.
Let me see. Well, I'm gonna try to go with Missouri. I'm kind of nervous on this one, but I'll go with Missouri
And lay the points.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be really good. Right. So we're gonna see.
We've got Irish Mike in here. Let's see. We got 2. Let's see. Let's get Irish. We got 2 games left. Boston College at Michigan State, 4.5. Boston College gets 4.5.
You see, I don't know. Then they had that quarterback. He's at Florida State now.
They lost
I
their
would
quarterback.
be taking Boston. I
Right.
don't know what they have at quarterback. So I'm going to go with I'll go on the other side and take
I'll go MSU.
Yep.
Then the last one is UCLA at UNLV. UNLV 2.5.
Well,
UNLV gets 2.5 points at home against UCLA.
This is sad, but I'm gonna say UNLV
and the points. Let's get Irish.
They got to be better. They got to be better.
Saturday morning sports page. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning, Doc. Good morning,
Hey,
Dave. How you guys doing?
Irish Mike. What's up?
Doing well. Hey, I was in Las Vegas all last weekend, Labor Day weekend, with my wife and
good.
friends out there. So didn't get a chance to catch up with you guys last week. But I can't believe I'm going to do this to start up the college football season. First thing is I have to agree with Brian Kelly on something. You know, he's in this press conference Tuesday. You know, Dabo Swinney said it was a knockdown, drag-out in Clemson last Saturday night, you know, and LSU won that game. And you know, I watched the game, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was rooting for Clemson, but LSU dominated the second half.
They did.
Dominated them. They couldn't do anything offensively. No. They couldn't move the ball. I don't know what game Dabo was watching, but he got dominated at home. And not to say if they play again in January they won't change, but it's just for that game that wasn't even close.
No. And then they got actually the referee screwed blunt, but the referee missed the call. It was a touchdown, and he called it incomplete pass. It was clearly a touchdown. LSU had scored the touchdown, and the referee waved it off as incomplete. It was a horrible call, and they should have actually had 7 points too. I mean, LSU did dominate them. Mm-hmm. You're right, and LSU won that game. It was close, but it wasn't as close. Again, if the referee calls the play the right call, they win by 2 touchdowns. I'm convinced.
And I think a lot of people loved July and August, Dave Clark. Everybody loved LSU, saying that it's probably the most talented team in the SEC this year, but they need to get over their hiccups early in the season. You know, a hiccup is going on a road like a place like Clemson and winning that game, and let's be honest, winning convincingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. You're right. I wasn't surprised. Even though I picked Clemson, I should have picked. I had a feeling LSU was going to do that, and I should have picked. And I wanted to kind of pick LSU, but I thought, they haven't won, and ... But yeah, I mean, you know what that shows you? It shows you the difference between the SEC and the ACC. Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the SEC is such a better conference.
That was the most compelling matchup in my eyes, simply because of the fact that you had two teams in LSU and Clemson that had veteran quarterbacks. You know, both were 3.5 year starters, so they had a lot of football underneath their belts. Kind of like, you know, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and other these so-called favorites who are trotting guys out there for the very first time.
Well, look at Miami.
For the most part.
Miami, Florida. Carson Beck.
Yeah. But Carson Beck's more of a veteran guy, so he just switched schools. You know what I mean?
That's all he did.
Yeah, he just switched schools, but he's a 3 or 4, 3 year starter.
He's a 3-year
We always like quarterbacks that have more seasoning underneath their belts. You know what I mean? The idea of they know they're more comfortable with what's going on.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
So, depending on who you play your opening game, it becomes a mixture because Julian Sane was going to throw for 5 touchdowns today at home, but they're playing Grambling State. So I mean, Grambling State's not Texas. So, but that's a good benchmark to get more and more comfort underneath their level and gain more and more confidence.
Well, then that's going to be the game. I mean, he's going to start to. This is where they're going to let him kind of throw the ball down the field, throw those high risk passes, so he gets, he's learning, but he will have the opportunity to air it out and get confidence throwing those kind of passes down the field where they didn't want to do that against Texas because they basically knew they couldn't afford interceptions and turnovers.
Yeah.
But now against the Grambling...
They didn't want him to make any mistakes.
Right.
We don't lose the game.
And so they played that way. Offensively, they played that. Now,
very conservative.
Right. Had they had Will Howard as their quarterback, you would have seen a whole different offense. But they did not have. So they went with, obviously, you knew Sane. They were going to keep him where he wasn't going to fail and look horrible because they weren't going to be, he wasn't throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 yards down the field that much. And he obviously did not. So you're right. No. Now he will. Like today's game, you may want to, watch it just to see the difference and see how he plays. But he'll be throwing the ball a lot more, I think, down the field and they're probably going to, obviously, I don't even know what the point spread is, the Grambling.
I've never seen.
I don't think they even had
57,
one.
I'm thinking 57, 58.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
I seen 54 and a half.
Okay.
Yesterday.
54, yeah. That sounds about right.
Yep.
But this is going to be the game. These next few games for Ohio State coming up will be Saints development games.
Correct. 100%.
Yeah. That's what you're going to see.
Getting him on course, getting him on track, getting him some confidence, giving him, these are live scrimmages in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. I mean, this game will be a scrimmage game.
Unfortunately, Akron's been always, Akron and Kent State the last decade have been the bottom feeders in the MAC conference, and there's 14 schools in the MAC, and they're the bottom 2 or 3 every single year. So,
and they always go. Kent State loves to get served up and put a bunch of money in their pocket.
Yeah, Kent State won last week, and believe it or not, out in Vegas, guys, the over/under for Kent State wins this year is 1.5.
Well, there you go.
So now all they got to do is win one of the next 11, and they cover the.
And they'll cover that.
If you look at the schedule, it's going to be a difficult task to probably do that.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They do play big boys. I got to give it to them. They play 3.
Oh, yeah, they're bankrolling their winter and fall. They're bankrolling their winter and spring programs, Dave Clark. That's what they're doing.
That's what it is.
So they'll play Auburn, sometime Ohio State, and somebody else, all in the same season.
Yeah. Now, guys, about Notre Dame last week. Pat, you asked me. I was coming back on a plane. I couldn't get reception, but the biggest is. I think people were concerned about C.J. Carr, obviously heavily recruited out of high school, Lloyd Carr's grandson, and, people are nervous going on the road in a hostile environment. I actually thought he did pretty damn well. The biggest disappointment to me by far was the offensive line.
Yeah.
Obviously the kid got hurt in the ATV action. He should be back in late September, early October, and he's their best offensive lineman. But you have other talented kids up front there that look like they had no clue to what they were doing, and the play calling reflected that. The play calling reflected. I know your buddy was getting there, and a lot of Notre Dame fans were very disappointed in both coordinators.
Yeah, they were.
Too much zone coverage on defense. Yeah. They played a lot of man last year under Al Golding. Now, Al Golden is the defense coordinator for Cincinnati Bengals now, and he played in a lot of man coverage. Where Chris Ash comes in, and he probably played 70% zone. And so we have better man cover guys. That's why they came to Notre Dame to play man coverage. You know what I mean? That's why they were recruited. So, very disappointed in both coordinators. Especially the offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock. How many more wide receiver screens can we run?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. My friend was losing his mind. Yeah.
Yes.
He was upset. He was he was going nuts.
And they had a lot of veterans off that team last year, guys. After they lost to Ohio State, who went in the transfer portal. One of their linemen starting for Nebraska, another one for Indiana, and a younger guy transferred who's a starting center at Tennessee now. So they lost 3 guys. But they left guys on their own accord, okay? They weren't pushed out. They left because basically they all saw the handwriting on the wall that there was younger, more talented kids coming up through the offensive line that Notre Dame wanted to play. And the fans agree with that 100%, so the fans had no problem with those guys leaving. Mm-hmm. What now the fans are upset about is, well, wait a second, these guys are supposed to be better and more talented, and they didn't look that part on Sunday night against Miami.
Yeah.
So
First
that's
weekend, though.
And the play calling reflected that, Dave Clark. The play calling reflected that. Yeah. We're not sure we can protect our quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
First week, though.
First week.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And
got to remember it.
And I'm glad it's a bye week for Notre Dame this week. They play at home next Saturday night against Texas A&M, another top 15 school. So this was a good time for bye week to kind of get those 13 days off to recharge the batteries a little bit.
And I see Notre Dame in the playoff, though. They'll make the playoff, the 12 teams. I think all the teams we saw, like Texas will be there, Ohio State will be there, Clemson, LSU, Miami, Florida, I think was actually going to be there, and Notre Dame will be in the. I think these teams will make the 12 team. I think they'll be in the playoff. They make the argument. I don't know if they'll put 2 ACC schools in, but Miami looks like they're potentially the real deal. So we'll wait, though. It's a long season.
And then they play. I don't think they play a game out of the state of Florida until the end of October.
They're
at home.
I know you sent that.
It's kind of a quirky schedule, and they get the Florida Gators at home in a couple weeks. So
thanks, Irish.
Yeah, obviously they're a talented team, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call.
All right.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back next week. Do not drink, do not drive. Stay sober. Get the designated driver and buckle up. Have a great, safe week. Western Reserve Radio, Pat Lucia, Dave Clark, Saturday Morning Sports Page.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Hi, this is Grace Remington for VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. The Jaguars have a new coach and returning talent, but are they getting too much early season respect after a 4-win season? Carolina finished strong in 2024, averaging 24 points over their final 9 games when Bryce Young found his stride. VSiN expert Steve Makinen's best bet for Week 1, Panthers plus 3.5. Join VSiN Pro and get daily best bets, live video, betting tools, and our NFL and college football betting guides, all for $9.99 for your first month or 50% off an annual plan at VSiN.com/subscribe.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. This is VSiN's College Football Tailgate Show, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
An hour away from kickoff, boys and girls, and if you want to see where the money is going, where the tickets are, well, check out our VSiN exclusive betting splits from DraftKings and Circa. You can check those out for as little as $9.99 if you're a VSiN Pro subscriber. That first month, you get everything we have to offer for just $9.99, including those betting splits. We'll dive into those betting splits here in just a little bit. Every Saturday, you can catch this program starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be your host for 3 hours every Saturday throughout the college football season. It is the VSiN College Football Tailgate Show, getting you ready for a busy day in college football. As mentioned, we got some picks to tell you about every Friday night here on the network. It is one of the most popular shows because amazing handicappers come on and give out plays, 7 plays to be exact, NFL and college. The Circa Friday Football Invitational, hosted by Matt Humans, sponsored by Omaha Steaks. And we'll get to some picks here in just a little bit. But of course, we got to get you ready for the biggest games of the day and go all over the board. We're going to talk to John Jansen, former Michigan offensive lineman, Michigan Hall of Famer, and now color analyst for the Wolverines as Michigan takes on Oklahoma, the only ranked matchup of the day. Right now, the betting market sits at Michigan catching 5, total down to 44, played a little bit on under 21.5 in the first half in this one. That number has moved quite considerably. Still some 21.5s out there, Circa down to 21. But a lot of intrigue regarding Bryce Underwood. Made his debut a week ago at the Big House against New Mexico. Strong performance for the former 5-star recruit. Brent Venables, he and his defense going to have to prepare for Bryce Underwood today down in Norman. Here's the head coach of the Sooners.
He's a little different. And again, it reminds me a lot of a Trevor Lawrence. Just quick, decisive, accurate, poised, tough, consistent. And there's a reason he's the number 1 player in America. And he's got a maturity and a work ethic and leadership ability that go along with that. So just really, we look at, what's it going to take to win? How do you win? What's the formula to win? And there might be byproducts of that. This guy doesn't perform well and so forth, but it's really about us. It's about the fundamentals. It's about the effort. It's about the physicality. It's about putting ourselves in position to be successful based on, what is on tape, and don't get into a lot of the conjecture.
Atmosphere is going to be amazing tonight. ESPN, actually ABC for this one, 7:30 Eastern, Oklahoma and Michigan. 5 is the number. Total sits at 44. Is that a bet that we saw in the Circa Friday Football Invitational? We're not going to go through all 25 of the contestants. If you're a VSiN Pro subscriber, you would have that email right now in your inbox. You would have got it last night. But we're going to cherry pick a little bit here. We're going to pick 4 different handicappers and go through their plays for you guys here on this Saturday morning. We're going to do this on a pretty regular basis. Let's start with our good friend, the Bear. Chris Felica, Fox Sports college football analyst, and looking at his plays
for the Circa Friday Football Invitational. He won this thing back in 2022, so he's the first ever winner, finished fourth place in 2024. And yes, Oklahoma is one of the Bears' plays. So as we pull up the plays here for the Bear, Oklahoma -5 is a play for the Bear. He is on Virginia plus the 3 in that noon Eastern window. He's on San Jose State plus 36.5. So I mentioned a stat. I didn't have it off the top of my head. I have it for you now. This is courtesy of my guy Stuckey over at the Action Network. Top 15 teams. It's a little bit convoluted here, so stick with me. Top 15 teams coming off of a top 15 loss. So Texas, top 15 team, lost a game against a top 15 opponent. Now a 30-plus point favorite, just 20